Hello, dear students. Today we will be starting up with chapter 4 of history. We will learn about the rise of Islam. There are three phases. One is faith, second is community, and the politics. Let's start with faith. This Islamic people, they have polytheistic Arabs. The Arabs divided into kabilas. Each tribe had its own god or goddess who was worshipped as an idol, and these idols were called sanam in a shrine, which were called masjids. So we have come to know that kabilas were the tribes and the idols were the sanam and shrines were the masjid. The polytheistic Arabs were vaguely familiar with the notion of a supreme god called Allah, possibly under the influence of the Jewish and Christian tribes living in their midst. Their attachment to idols and shrines was more immediate and stronger. Let's now talk about Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca in 570. During 612 to 32, the Prophet Muhammad preached the worship of a single God, Allah, and the membership of a single community of believers which were known as Ummah. This was the origin of Islam. Around 612, Muhammad declared himself to be the messenger. Their messengers were called the Rasuls of God, who had been commanded to preach that Allah alone should be worshipped. In 622, Muhammad was forced to migrate with his followers to Medina. Muhammad's journey from Mecca to Medina was known as Hijr, was a turning point in the history of Islam, with the year of his arrival in Medina marking the beginning of the Muslim calendar. I will be talking about this Muslim calendar in details in the classroom. Now, seen before 12 AD, between 950 and 1200, Islamic society was held together not by a single political order or a single language of culture, which was that time Arabic, but by common economic and cultural patterns. The Muslim population, less than 10% in the Umayyads, a prosperous clan of the Quraysh tribe. These Umayyads were a clan of the Quraysh tribe, and early Abbasid periods increased enormously. The identity of Islam as a religion and a cultural system separate from other religions became much sharper, which made conversion possible and meaningful. Let us now learn about the community system. Muhammad was to found a community of believers, which was known as Ummah, bound by a common set of religious beliefs. The community would bear witness, which is known as shahads, to the existence of the religion before God, as well as before members of other religious communities. Muhammad's message particularly appealed to those Meccans who felt deprived of the gains from trade and religion and were looking for a new community identity. Those who accepted the doctrine were called Muslims. They were promised salvation on the day of judgment, which is known as Qiyamah or Qayamat, and a share of the resources of the community while on earth. The Muslims soon faced considerable opposition from affluent Meccans who took offense to the rejection of their deities and found the new religion a threat to the status and prosperity of Mecca. So, what was the political condition? After Muhammad's death in 632 AD, political authority was transferred to the Ummah with no established principle of succession. This created opportunities for innovations but also caused deep divisions among the Muslims. The biggest innovation was the creation of the institution of Caliphate, in which the leader of the community became the deputy. who was known as Khalifa. So these communities were known as Caliphate, and the head of the community was known as Khalifa of the Prophet. The twin objectives of the Caliphate were to retain control over the tribes constituting the Ummah and to raise resources for the state. The main duties of the Caliphs were to safeguard and spread Islam. Now let us talk about the modern Islam. By 21st century, there are over 1 billion Muslims living in all parts of the world. They are the citizens of different nations with different languages and dresses. And if you see the early Islam, united in its observance of the Sharia in ritual and personal matters, it was defining its religious identity. Islam laid special stress on the principle of equality and believed that all men are descendants of Allah. Islam strongly opposed idol worship, reciting kalma. Kalma is a holy chant, namaz, which is known as their prayers, roza, which is a fasting, zakat, which is the alms or the taxes which were given, and hajj are five pillars of Islam. I repeat, kalma, namaz, roza, zakat, and hajj. These are the five pillars of Islam. Even tribes outside Mecca considered the Kaaba holy and installed their own idols at this shrine, making annual pilgrimages, which is known as Hajj, to the shrine. Let us quickly now see the social scenario. Before 612 AD, Jaliliya is an Islamic concept of the period of time and state of affairs in Arabia before the advent of Islam. It is often translated as the age of ignorance. In the 7th century, prior to rise of Islam, Arabia was socially, economically, politically, and religiously backward. Arabia was dominated by Bedouins, a nomadic tribe moving from dry to green areas. So Bedouins were actually the tribal people who used to move from one place to another. Institution of slavery was prevalent, trade was not developed, tribes indulged in loot and plunder. The principle of might is right due to the lack of central authority.